Hi everybody. Sorry I'm a little late here. I was getting, the small stuff out of the way. You know how that goes. Today I'm going to be winging it. Um, I didn't really have any set topics to discuss, so we'll just topic what happened, or topic. Talk about what's happening this past week and what's going on and everything. And number one, I'll be so glad when this election's over with. Um, it's been very, very stressful. Uh, and I'm also glad that Kamala, Vice President Harris, is leading the charge. And I'm pretty sure that she's going to win. The way everything is going, I pay attention to some really good polls, but not the polls that are, you can tell that they're kind of slanted, but a poll's not supposed to be slanted. Yeah, well, I'm tired of the ads too. Except I haven't seen any ads out of Trump. Ever. And of course, I blocked most of his stuff. So I haven't seen any out of him. But as far on the ads on TV, I usually watch most of my stuff off of YouTube. Listen to podcasts, things like that. Um, the only corporate broadcaster that I really trust and everything is CBS. They're very neutral. They show both sides of the story, and they're following the standard of Walter Cronkite, because he shows both sides of the issue, not just one side. Now, there's only 5 weeks left until the election day. Now, there's some areas that are doing early voting, which is I think it's starting now. Is early voting started yet, Nancy? I can't remember. And so anyway, there's 5 weeks left. After next week, it'll be 4 weeks. And of course, I don't know if you watched on Midas Touch, Trump he's having all kinds of issues. He's backed out of a one interview that he was supposed to do, and he backed out of that. Apparently, he was having a lot of mental issues. Even the former Republican presidents, such as President Bush, says, I prefer Kamala Harris over Trump. He says Trump's an idiot. He really is. And he doesn't like him. He's met him once, but he never likes the guy. He hopes in many ways also that President Biden is feeling much better. President Biden stated during the one debate that they had, he just came back from Europe, from the G7 conference. And so you have jet lag. Also, he was just getting over COVID, also, as well. So he said, well, his performance bad. No, he was just doing the best he can, and he was tired. Okay, I vote by mail. Up here in Washington State, we vote by mail. Okay. We haven't had any problems or anything. So yeah, I'm voting on election day. Here. Now with Minnesota doing it, I'm sure that they're going to be voting for Kamala Harris. I bet they will. And also voting for Governor Walz. I really like him in many ways. He's very down to earth. He doesn't, do all the theatrics like some of the politicians do. And he just shows things like it is from day to day life and everything, like farming and yeah. Reason why we voting by mail is that year about 30, 40 years ago. 40 years ago, we were on voting machines back then. About 40 years, 40 some odd years ago, 30 years ago. Um, and the voting machines started acting up because they were like what 20, 30 years old, and they were not working properly. Well, one voting machine that I used, I got a shock from it, and which is not good. And I was going, you guys need to change this. So they do the punch card, and you just slip the punch card through the machine, and it'll calculate all the votes and everything and sticks it in. Well, did that, and then one time when I was voting, I think it was during President Obama's, President Obama's election, the punch card voting machine you stick in there ate the card. It didn't count or anything. It just ate it. It just shredded it. Well, they gave me a new card. They gave me a new sheet. And I voted again. And they shut the machine down. And so the election workers there collected all the cards and they safely delivered them to the elections office up here in Tacoma. And they said, well, they're having trouble with the machine. It ate 8 cards. It was eating them instead of doing this. So now we vote by mail, and which is safer, which is better, and everything is. It's a lot more secure. We didn't really have that. We at that time, about 4 years ago, we met at our Grange Hall. So I lived out in the country. I lived out just outside a little town called Roy, and we didn't really have any political issues. Yeah, well, see, the tabulator that was used here about 40 years ago ate the sheets, ate the paper ballots. So that's why we don't use the tabulator anymore. And so we mail it in, and the election office does their job. But as far as interference or people trying to persuade other people who to vote for, we didn't have any of those issues. People just went in, voted, and left. We didn't have any big thing that was going on. I remember when we were voting for Reagan, and it was a little bit crowded. This is when we lived up in Buckley. It's one time we were up the Grange Hall up there in Buckley. That's another small town. So anyway, there was really no problems there either. Like some other areas and some other cities that we're having issues with. So with Trump and all his antics and the stunts he's pulling, also they found out that there were a whole bunch of other evidence and crimes that Trump has been committing. And I love Judge Chutkan. A lot of the stuff that Trump was doing was not part of the presidential duties. She separated everything out. Okay? She said there is a list of duties the president's supposed to do, and there's list of stuff he cannot do, and which, break the law and everything. Well, majority of the stuff he did was break the law. He instigated the January 6th riots and everything else. He's in trouble for that. And that has, I think it's still on 4 counts. I'm not sure. Or it's 3. I think may have dropped one. Maybe one was a duplicate. I don't know. So he's in trouble with that. He's, of course, indicted for that. Hi, Loki. Loki says hi. So he's my next month. He's gonna be in jail. He has the sentencing on the 18th in New York through the fraud trial. For the 34 counts, and good majority of those 34 counts are felonies, not misdemeanors, felonies. So he's going to be finding himself maybe visiting Rikers. I don't know if they're going to put him in Rikers or they're going to put him in Sing Sing, which is in upstate New York. I don't know. It depends. They have to take him through processing and everything and then determine which prison they send him to. And I hope what they really need to do is President Biden needs to yank Trump's Secret Service detail. They need to yank it. And he's a convicted felony. He has no right to a Secret Service detail. And some think, well, he's still president. And I go, no, he's not president anymore. He never has been. Even, I love Judge Chunkin. She goes, I don't care there was an election going on. This is a crime. These are crimes that he's committed. And he's going to be treated like everybody else. Good girl. Again, I hope that people are smart enough to vote correctly. Vote blue all the way. Just kick out the MAGAs and everything else. And like this morning, this Marjorie Taylor Greene says all these stupid stuff. Stupid things. And saying, well, we can control the weather and everything else. No, you can't control the weather, Green. Okay, Mother Nature controls weather, not you. And I said these hurricanes are bad. They're seriously bad. It hit a number of communities bad. And especially in North Carolina, little town called, what's the name of the town? One little town got wiped off the map, literally. And they're trying to get help in there for those that are cut off. Now the roads are washed out, bridges are washed out. Part of Interstate 40 is washed out. So I do hope the federal government and the state of North Carolina gets the help in rebuilding that bridge quickly so commerce can get in there. So supplies and food and everything gets in there. I don't know what the current death toll is yet. That storm caused a lot of problems. And there are people there that did not have the means to get out. Okay? Either they couldn't afford it, or they just didn't have the means to get out. Get to higher ground. So. And of course you have a lot of these trolls that go after the storm chasers and everything else. The storm chasers right now are in the search and rescue mode. They help out. And you have these trolls that go in there and threaten them and everything else. They go, you guys are being dumb and you are being stupid. The chasers are there for a reason. And so they need to go after the trolls on this. They really do. Another thing too is going on. One thing I'm very happy about is the longshoremen's strike, which was like ran like for 3 days. If it ran longer, then it would, yes, it would cause some backup. Right now, they're busy clearing the docks. The strike is gone. They're back to work. They got a big pay raise, which they do deserve because it's a lot of hard work unloading ships and loading them and sending them on their way and everything. And of course, the captain's having to navigate the seas because of all the storms that are going on, especially like Hurricane Kirk and Hurricane Leslie, or Tropical Storm Leslie. She's not quite up to a hurricane yet, but she will be. So they're working on that. The other pet peeve I have is Boeing's negotiation team on the contract. Boeing, you better wake up and start listening. Number one, your prime concern is your employees and your assets and everything. You need to stop being so greedy and start giving them a raise. You support your employees. The employees support the company. And the money part will take care of itself. So stop playing these mind games with the employees when they're on strike. It's not, both sides lose on this when you do that. You're causing your reputation to be scrutinized because of your antics. Taking away their health care while they're on strike is a big no-no. That is a big no-no. That's not how you treat people. And yes, I'm scolding you, Boeing. Shame on you. I used to work for you for 23 years and never had any problems. When I walked the picket line, Boeing did not pull that stunt of canceling everybody's insurance. They didn't do that. Okay? And you need to reinstate the insurance, be fair in negotiating, and give them a raise, which they probably needed it for a number of years since they had a raise, and I think they deserve one. And if you want to get back on track, start selling airplanes and airplanes with proper quality and safety features and everything else. You need to start treat them properly. That's my pet peeve. If people don't like my comment about this one, that's just tough. That's the way I say it. That's the way it is. Okay. So Boeing, sit down, shut up, listen, and then give what the workers need and want. They're the guys on the floor that are building the aircraft. They know what's going on the floor. Obviously, you guys up in the upper echelon don't. You know what I suggest the upper echelon to do? Go down to the floor and shadow with an employee that works on building airplanes. That's how you learn. Go down there and work with them that way. Help build the airplane. Don't sit up in the ivory tower. Come down on the floor, work the aircraft, talk to the employees, help them put the aircraft together, and maybe you would learn something. I bet you would. Now, of course, this weekend is New York Giants will be visiting Seattle for the football game. The regular season of baseball season ended last weekend. Now it's postseason. So, be nice to see the Kansas City Royals win. Uh, so that's my chat today. And, I'm doing other, administrative stuff and everything. Um, they did, also my apartment complex did a testing on our fire systems and everything. We're having the roof replaced on the apartment complex, apartment complex, and well, they're quiet today because it's been raining, and so they're not working it today. I don't think, unless it's weather dependent. It's pretty windy right now, and it's been raining, so other than that, I will. Let's see. Let me check my calendar real quick. Um, okay, I have my chat show on the 7th, as regular, as always. And so I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Get some rest. Help out if you can. Talk to people on vote. Tell them be sure to vote, but be sure to vote for your interests. Don't vote against your interests. Yeah, I will. You too, Nancy. Stay safe down there, okay? I know the Midwest now in the middle of harvest season, and many of them are harvesting, especially in Minnesota and Michigan and, the Corn Belt area. And so they're in the middle of harvesting right now. So, just stay safe, and I will see you guys on Monday. And have a good weekend. Okay? Talk to you later. And I will post this on my YouTube channel, as always. So I will see you guys later. Okay? Love you. Bye bye. Yeah.